Many of the iconic technologies of the Fallout universe happen due to one man. His name is Robert Edwin House. Because of Mr. House, such things like the Pip-Boy, Protectron, Liberty Prime, and many more things are possible. Mr. House was possibly the most important man in all of Fallout history, but who was he before he became the man on the screen we all know? Who is Robert Edwin House?
I don't want the life you live. I don't want the wife and kids. I don't want the diamonds. All the things that sail around me. I don't want the life you live. I don't think that's
Mr. House was born June 25th, 2020, to wealthy parents. Unfortunately, his parents were killed very early on in Mr. House's life in a freak accident. His father left his company for him and his half-brother, Anthony House. Anthony cheated Robert out of his inheritance because he saw himself as the one and only true son of his father. Anthony went on to run H&H Tools, while Robert, making the best of what he had, attended the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. This is the same institute as the one seen in Fallout 4. When he was 22, Mr. House would go home to Las Vegas and found Robotics Corporation, or RobCo for short. RobCo would go on to be one of the biggest technological companies in the United States. They were responsible for creations such as the Universal Operating System, which was the operating system for almost all the computers in the US. Another creation is one of the most iconic items in Fallout, the Pip-Boy. RobCo was best known for their robots. Some of the robots were manufactured for the average consumer, while others were contracted for use in the military. RobCo robots were even used to replace many working-class citizens at a variety of jobs. RobCo even teamed with General Atomics in a joint venture to build the strongest combat robot that was meant to take on the Chinese in Alaska and to double as propaganda for the United States. This robot would be known as Liberty Prime, the walking, talking, nuke-tossing, commie-hating robot that would destroy the United States' enemies. The company granted House wealth and fame. Soon he sought after different ventures, such as Repcon Aerospace and even H&H Tools. Despite the boom of his businesses, Mr. House had concerns with rising tensions in the world's political climate.
By 2065, I deemed it a mathematical certainty that an atomic war would devastate the Earth within 15 years. Every projection I ran confirmed it. I knew I couldn't save the world, nor did I care to, but I could save Vegas, and in the process, perhaps save mankind. I set to work immediately. I thought I had plenty of time to prepare. As it turned out, I was 20 hours short. On the day of the Great War, 77 atomic warheads targeted Las Vegas and its surrounding areas. My networked mainframes were able to predict and force transmit disarm code subsets to 59 warheads, neutralizing them before impact. Laser cannons mounted on the roof of the Lucky 38 destroyed another 9 warheads. The rest got through, though none hit the city itself. A suboptimal performance, admittedly. If only the platinum chip had arrived a day sooner. The platinum chip was printed in Sunnyvale, California on October 22nd, 2077, the day before the Great War. It was to have been delivered by courier the following afternoon, but by then, the world had ended. The chip contained vital software upgrades, but not just for my Securitrons. Every aspect of the missile defense grid would have been upgraded too. Given that I had to make do with buggy software, the outcome could have been worse. I nearly died as it was. Software glitches set off a cascade of system crashes. I had to take the Lucky 38's reactor offline, lest it melt down. For nearly 5 years, I battled power outages and more system crashes until I finally managed to reboot my data core with an older version of the OS. I spent the next few decades in a veritable coma, but I survived, obviously, and eventually thrived.
And this leaves us at the events of Fallout New Vegas. The courier chooses whether they kill Mr. House, ending his tyranny over Vegas, or working with him, saving Vegas from the NCR and Caesar's Legion. And maybe, just maybe, saving humanity in the process.
Vegas might see a dip in revenue for a few months, half a year, but soon enough the tourists and their money will be pouring in. Vegas will be a shining jewel in the middle of the desert, an oasis of light, a beacon to show mankind the way to the stars. This is just the start, you see. This is where it all begins.